Alright, guys, welcome to TNCast. As always, I'm Tim, and I have Mo, who plays Christian DeVoe. I have Lauren Blair and Kimi Gallen, and they're all on here with me, of their own free will, mind you. And we're going to talk about a feature I actually just introduced these guys to called At Timeline. At T is in Tim, L is in Good Looking. Um, the looking part, though, not the good part. So we're talking about that, and we kind of decided on the events that aren't on the timeline that we think should be on the timeline. And Mo has a good one, so we're going to go ahead and let him start.
Yeah, man. I just found out about this, and we look through it. I'm about to type it in now because I backed out of it. We go through it, and it got major stuff that happens, you know. And these are people that we play with and know, and us, and me. And I think one that should be on here that's not is me. When I played Cameron Jones, and he died because Matina shot him in the head. Now, for this to come about, and I'm gonna say the whole event because it's a TNCast. So fuck it, I'm gonna say the whole event.
We got time. We got time.
That time, I'm gonna tell y'all what happened. And, so basically, Cameron Jones, if you don't know, was the big crime boss at the time when he played. The whole time I played with him, and the Alvalopo stores. I don't know if they were just opening up or if I just got the idea in my head to do this, but the plan was to go to these shop owners and say, give me money every week, basically, for having a store, and do something if you don't like it, and have my money and shit. So that's the plan. So we do this, me and Angela. When I say me, I mean Cameron, me and Angela Jones. And then something goes on, and the character is Sean Jacobs. Y'all remember Sean?
Yep.
Oh, yes.
You remember Sean? What you know about Sean? Tell me about Sean.
He stabbed Lauren.
He was Matina's lapdog.
He took Matina's last name when they got married, and then he stabbed Lauren in front of 10 people, and they all claimed to have seen nothing.
That's what happened.
Infuriating.
Let me tell you about this kid, Sean. He was nobody the whole time I played, because there were times he made. Sean was probably had Cam for a little bit, and we played, and I fucking tortured this dude. He cheated to get dice. I had a friend that had his dice taken all the way back because he did the same thing, and then he does it, and it was fine. And that's why I don't. That's a whole nother subject, but the whole dice system. That's why I don't. But this is before Sean became this superhero that everybody says he was. I used to beat him up a lot, and at this time when I'm shaking down these shops, he say something about it to me probably, and this is on at the bench, famous bench, and it was me, Duncan, Sean, and I think Angela just pulled up. I was already there, and she pulls up and she gets out, and I'm already talking shit to Sean, and I tell him he say something to me, and I tell him if he say it again, I'm gonna stump his face in the ground. And and Duncan say something slick, and Angela pulls up, and she hops out. So I go off my shirt and shit, and Duncan he not gonna, he gonna let us fight. So told you we not about to have this. And she made me forget what I was talking about.
Duncan was going to let you guys fight.
Yeah, he was gonna let us fight, and we fought. I rolled, and he did like a counter. He took a little bit. I rolled again, countered, gave him some shit. He ate all the rest of it. It knocked him out, and it was my turn again. But I didn't. In the fight, I said I was gonna stump his face in, so I did it again. Like I rolled again. He had something like 80 something at him. He defended like 30, not even that, and just basically jumped in 2 feet and stumped his face, and Duncan was like so shocked. And from that point on, Duncan was like protecting this dude. And when I'm shaking these people tonight, and this is like right after that happened, and I don't know if it's this night or the next day, but it was real soon. Like it wasn't too much time had elapsed before those two situations, because he got it. It was enough to where he got out of the hospital though, because he was there when all this was going down. But Duncan, I'm on my boat at the Stratford dock. I don't know why the hell I was on the yacht, but I'm sitting there and I see, and I don't know how the hell it happened, but I seen Duncan go and he was leading Martina, but I didn't see him leading Angela. Like, I don't know what happened, but I seen them go and they get into the little boat and they disappeared. I'm like, whatever, no, and I don't think nothing of it. And comes to find out, he say something on the radio like, "Do you know where your wife is?" And this is Duncan talking to Cam, and I call her phone, she don't answer, text it, and I just remember that I just seen him get on this boat. So I put it in little coordinates because you can track the boats down, and I go out there, follow it, get there, and I think they was on their way back. And I get there, I look around, they gone, but I got my troops in a Hummer. I had a black Hummer, and I had it outside to where I'm at because I drive to everywhere I go. Everywhere I go, I use my car because I have it. I pay a lot of money for vouchers, so the little short time spent I can drive it, it's role play. So the troops are on the truck. I see them get out, and it's Troy, Duncan, Sean, and maybe 2 to 4 other people. And they go west, and you follow them west down there, and they go north. And I follow them, and I'm stopping. I'm thinking about the time to just hop out and fight start on them because I got my troops. This before you couldn't fight troops with people.
Right.
You had, this is during that era and things. I'm thinking I'm about to just get out and hurry up and try to fight it, but I'm like, no, because Duncan moving so sporadic, and I know he see me moving with him. He probably don't think it's the troops in there, but he see me, and they end up going, and they make Gallagher's. I follow them to Gallagher's, and I don't know if I'm still on the boat at this time. Matter of fact, I think I am. I get them in Gallagher's and downstairs. I remember right there, you go upstairs, you go down into I think it's like the little bar, eating, dining area, whatever, and start the fight, attack, go. Somehow Cam gets to, because I think I did pass Martina on the way there. Because I do remember seeing her, because I knew she was coming, and that's why I went, because I want to. After this is all over, I got Duncan down here and Sean. They just kidnapped my wife, and I got them. So I'm about to go get a clean up after I put them down, and I go in there and fucking Martina. She makes it with every damn troop in the gang, and she rolled. They get the first roll, and it rolled like some stupid imaginable number that it don't even matter. Like you'd just be dead.
30,000. Let's just throw out a number there.
Stupid like that. But the only bullet that I took, like I just role played Martina shooting me, and she killed him because and then this is the reason behind it. Like bar the event that Cam died and he got killed by Martina. The reason was that she killed me for going after her son, I guess it is now, that kidnapped his wife. Like kidnapped his wife. And that's why he died.
I think the kid is cheering for your death right now.
That's the event that I feel like should be on there. Cameron Jones gets murdered by Principal Martina Thorne. Yeah.
Well, murder's a strong word.
That's what happened.
Right.
Sounds like murder to me.
Yeah.
But,
that'll happen.
Martina gets away with murder all the time.
They had buttons for it, I bet. I stopped playing for a while after that shit, but yeah, they was happy as hell. Woot.
Okay. All right, Kimmy, do you have an event that is not on the timeline that you wish was on the timeline?
Well, I can't think of an exact event, but just kind of how it was before we had combat dice. and everybody would actually have to RP events, pre-plan things out of character and like what they wanted to happen, and then like you role play it all out, already kind of pre-planned, or sometimes you kind of wing it, but there's no disagreements out of character. Just like you just go with it. You didn't have to roll dice and have some sort of randomness added to it. You did it.
Right.
And, I mean, not just that, but like back when I joined in 2004. You show up in town and you better get a weapon within that first day to protect yourself. Like everybody needed one. It was dangerous out there. But I mean, I really can't think, I guess, of an event. But I mean, I make comment on that if you want.
Right. Okay. Emily, I don't think she didn't want to post an event. I'm not sure.
Well,
Lauren, unless she has one now. Never mind. Go ahead.
I remember when the first guns were introduced into the game. When Erica RP'd the first actual pregnancy. When I first started playing TNC, if you wanted to adopt a baby, you just go to the adoption agency and take it out of a basket, and there you have your baby. So I think these were important things that should be on the timeline.
That's not like role play though. Getting babies out of
RP, role playing pregnancy. That's a role play. I agree.
Yeah, no, that was huge for the game. Look at how big pregnancy is now.
Everybody still got fucking kids. You're right though.
So I mean, the first ever pregnancy in the game. That's big. That's huge. So I agree with that. That should definitely be added. Mine was when and this is I talk about it on OOC all the time, or not all the time, but every once in a while. But the one of the biggest RPs that I have ever done personally was Tim actually snuck into Deul. Like he got in, and nobody to my knowledge other than Tim has ever actually been inside Deul. So that was pretty sweet. Tim, here's the backstory to that.
What's Deul?
Deul, it was the French-speaking country where Paul Henry Boisseau was from, or whatever.
Oh.
I think Kimi was there once, but she was following somebody.
Yeah, it's very very little known about the city. It was a lot of fun though. But the backstory behind it is Deul actually took a prisoner of war. I think it was Ariana McBride, which in hindsight Tim should have never tried to save her ever.
Yeah, no. Why didn't you just let him keep her?
Right, but being the person that Tim is, he took his boat out. He got about 50 meters to 100 meters away from the dock, and then he scubaed in to the port, climbed up onto a container ship, snuck around for a little while, and then made his way, slowly but surely up to the gate. And I took Tim in fully stocked for this. Like, he had I picked up like rocks off the gravel road and shit, and I was throwing rocks to distract guards while I fucking ran the other way and shit. I mean, it was an epic role play for me. It was awesome, and it was just me by myself, but it was a lot of fun. And I get up to the gate, and there's a guard there, and I subdue him and get him to tell me the code to the gate, and then I slit his throat, which was kind of badass. And then, I get inside the gate, I hotwire the gate or whatever, the alarms start going off. I get inside the gate and I actually meet up with somebody from the resistance to Deul. Apparently Paul Henry was not very well liked within his own country, and there was actually resistance. So I met up with this guy and we talked for a little bit, and I asked him where Ariana was, and he said that she had been moved. So I went there for no fucking reason, basically. Then Tim had to sneak out, and actually this entire city is walled by like these 20-foot walls. So Tim actually had to climb up a fire escape on one of the buildings, and then jump from the building to the wall, and then jump from the wall back into the ocean and swim back to his boat. But it was fucking awesome. It was the most fun I've ever had in the game, bar none, and nobody else was there. It was just me by myself. So, but I think that was an awesome event for me anyway. Was him getting in there. So, but again, that's more of a personal role play. I can understand why it wouldn't be on the timeline, but with Mo Cameron. That was a huge event because he was the biggest criminal role player of the time, and he got shot in the head by the one of the biggest political figures of all time. Bless you, bless you again. And then Lauren said, the first ever pregnancy in TNC. That's a big one, so that should definitely be added. And then Kimi was saying, from our transitions from, 'cause I know at Timeline is mostly is all in character events, but it'd be cool to kind of to put OOC events in there, like the transition from role play only combat to dice combat, and first ever weapons in the game and things of that nature. But yeah, I mean it's all golden, right? It's all just information that we could all not necessarily use, but it entertains us, and it's informative. So definitely good times.
Pass, man. It is though.
All right, well, I got everyone on here. Do we want to talk about anything else? Is there anything else on anyone's mind that they want to bring up?
I don't know, man.
I know you love me. I know. We all know. I mean, let's talk about something else.
Me and Tim is gonna get married one day.
Star Wars wedding.
Yeah. If y'all didn't know, it's gonna happen. But shit, man, I don't know, man.
Sexy.
Talk about anything. Talk about
Gay wedding.
how we fix this combat system.
I'm excited for the new combat system. I think it's going to be awesome. So
Okay, about it because I heard about it from like Angela told me kind of sort of, but I didn't hear nothing. Like I just got my out of character back on not too long ago, so like the day of the first event was the first time I should have been on in years probably.
yeah, it's basically it's going to be the only bad thing I can say about it, and this goes back to what Kimi was saying before about role playing. All role play was cool. It was good. It was good times, and it was the most creative time for role play in the game for sure. But the only bad thing there was a lot more dudes around, which means there was a lot more egos around, which means there was a lot of god role play. I mean, people were fucking dodging bullets and fighting off 5 dudes at once and wouldn't accept a fucking gunshot wound, and it was just
Matrix moves, yeah.
yeah. Kharkov Fravok fucking flipped over me, like jumped over a 5'11" man, did a fucking back twirly spin like a fucking Chinese gymnastics teacher, landed on the other side, and then tried to stab me with a sword, and got pissed when I didn't accept it. All right, so there's some bullshit like that going on that I just can't. If I knew everyone in the game was super mature and like knew how to role play, I'd be all for it. But I don't know most of these people, and I don't want to role play with them like that because I feel like it's going to be some bullshit like that. Like some little 4 foot fucking 18-year-old girl is going to be like, oh, well, my character's background is she's been in the Secret Service since she was fucking 10. Like, what? Like, what are you talking about right now? You're dumb. No, that's not going to happen.
Kane Slaughter, man.
Do what?
Y'all gotta remember Kane Slaughter. I don't believe y'all.
Kane. Oh yeah, I remember Kane Slaughter. Yeah.
What's your opinion on Kane?
Kane.
Spent a lot of time together in the cell.
I never role played with Kane personally, so I don't know.
He was a fucking nut. Like that was a real. He was so like. How can I say this? Like, I can't explain him because he was my boy, but the way his style of play, like he was so good, but he wouldn't act right. Like you would get some role play going. Like before we was cool, I would beat him up and put a cigarette out on his eye when I got Jordan. Like this is when I first came into the game and I met all these people here. And fucking Kane Slaughter, man. This dude, man, he was so ridiculous. They had to have the, like little arrows when he moved. It was like arrows by his name, like when he moved around and shit, just so you know he was coming.
That's awesome.
Y'all remember that?
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't remember that. No.
My God, everywhere he went, he had like it was something wrong with his name. Like it was 2 back arrows.
Huh.
And I was like, and they like tagged him. that he got tired. Shit.
Because he was crazy.
Yeah, something's wrong with my boy. I
And
can't explain
he
it.
was always in the cell. Like, I'd log into the cell and then he'd be there. He'd be like, hey, what's up?
And that's actually
One time
where
I was in the
Erica
cell
got
with,
pregnant. Just so we all know, that was where Erica got pregnant, was the cell. So I don't know if that's true. I'm making shit up, but
Oh, no.
no.
You want to hear the story?
I don't actually. I don't know if I want to hear.
Well,
Erica got
Tiffany Tate was dating
Well, we're gonna hear it anyway.
Romeo.
So this is good.
And Romeo cheated on Tiffany with Erica. And then Erica was like, I'm pregnant. And Romeo said, you can't do that. And she's like, oh, I'm doing it.
Fuck you. This is going down.
Drama. It was drama.
Drama. I like it. I love drama. I don't like being drama, but I love drama. It's good times. Okay, new combat system. We got off track. Let's get back to this. New combat system. So, basically what it's going to do is, it's going to make everything a little bit more even keel, which I like because, again, no one is fucking Superman, you know? That shit just does not happen. So, definitely going to be more even keel. There's going to be chances for success on attacks, especially with guns. You know, you can miss, finally, so that's good. And it's going to be a little bit more automated. Again, the only downside to that, I think, is that there's not going to be a lot of room for combat roleplay, which I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I love it. I think it's fun. So, and me and Mo actually did some the other night. It was good times. So, just some strictly roleplay combat. It was good. So, I am looking forward to it, and the fact that it'll be more even, so that, you know, people with lower dice can still get away with attacks, which I think will inevitably lead to better criminal roleplay. But the only downside I see to it is the fact that, you know, it's kind of taking away from the roleplay aspect, which makes TNC great. It's not one of those grind and go games. It's a role playing game. It actually is. So. But I'm looking forward to it either way. You know, I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be even, and I think it'll open up a lot of doors for some people who don't necessarily want to do all combat all the time and spar every week and all that shit. So it'll be good. You know, I'm looking forward to it, along with the point system for the role play. So, you know.
Yeah, I never even heard about that. It was my first time hearing about it. But if anything, like I say, man, anybody with over 100 dice, if you have over 100 dice, depending on who you are, you should not be nowhere near that. Frankie, when he got 100 dice, he stopped playing. He said it took him 10 years. And then now it's like everybody just got these ridiculous dice. When I was playing, that shit was unheard of. Jordy didn't have more than 40 dice. The whole time I had Jordy and all the shit he did, he didn't have more than 40 dice. Just to show y'all, like, dice don't really mean anything with the crime.
Right. And that's, like, when Hunting came out, because Tim was at probably 60 or 70. I mean, Tim sparred all the time. But when Hunting came out, I would literally, like, this is back when I had, you know, just like a part-time job and all I did was play TNC. I would literally hunt from like 9 p.m. to about 3 or 4 a.m. And every night. I mean, it would probably 5 to 6 nights a week I would do that. And then, you know, Tim's up to like 140, 130, something like that. So
that's just unheard of.
Yeah,
like,
it's up there. Yeah, it's way more. Because I remember when 30 dice used to be fucking godlike. You know, I mean, that was if you had 30 dice, you kick everyone's ass. But it was yeah. I like the fact that it's going to be a little bit more even, and everyone's going to be a little bit more apt at combat, because that is more like real life. I mean, if let's say, you know, me and Mo got into a fight, you know, I'm sure Mo could probably kick my ass. I'm a little dude, but you know, it's not going to be like he has 100 dice and I have 30, and I'm not going to land a single punch on him. You know, I mean, it's going to be a give and take situation, unless he knows some sort of fucking kung fu that I've never heard of. I mean, let's just.
All right, man, I wouldn't knock you out, Tim. But I think if they had like a like just when you roll a new character, maybe roll some random dice between 1 and whatever the highest dice is at the time.
That'd be cool too. Yeah, that'd be cool. Like, or even something that they could do with character creation is that you know, give your character like 10 different options for a background. Like, do you have a military background? Do you have this kind of background? Do you have this kind of background? And kind of maybe adjust their stats accordingly
Right.
to that sort of background. You know, like if you have an acrobatic background, maybe you have super high evasiveness, so people find you harder to hit. I don't know. I mean, maybe if a Batman sidekick background where you're just a total badass. I don't know. I mean, there could be. I mean, there's different ways to fucking adjust it and move it around, but
That's what I would do though. If I could, if they would like roll a random dice roll between between 10 and 200. You know, because I'm sure Duncan has like 800 dice. So
I don't think it's that high.
I do, man. And then you could, because you know, I used to do this a lot too, because I knew I was like so much more powerful than people. If you type like at dice 50 and you got 150 dice, you'll only roll between like 1 and your adjusted 50.
Right.
Roll. Like
right.
you'll probably get the same adjusted at it, but it'll be a lower dice roll.
Right.
I cannot do that for people. You know, you got to look out. But if you get characters coming into the game, these new characters, maybe they do want to try something new. You know, you can do a lot with. People are like that, and then there's people like that in the game where you know you just can't beat this person.
Right.
And if you get a random dice roll, you get maybe 80 dice. You want to do something, you find somebody you want to mess with, and get everybody involved. Because everybody know everybody. They say it's so small, so everybody's gonna find out about it, right?
Right. But and I don't necessarily agree with that though, because there's shit that Tim's done that nobody knows about. I mean, nobody. So it's only commonplace if you fucking tell everyone about it. Or tell anyone about it, really. Like,
Yeah, like who shot Lauren?
do what?
Say who shot Lauren?
Like, who shot Lauren? Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so we've talked about combat. We're up to 26 minutes now. Let's keep going now. Fuck it, we got time. So talked about combat, talked about timeline. Okay, now the ladies, since Mo and I have been dominating this combat conversation, the ladies of the game, you know, we have Kimi and we have Lauren. What's something that you guys really like about TNC, or you like to see change, or you know, anything you feel strongly about within TNC? You know, what is it? What can we talk about?
I'll have to think for a little bit. I'm not really sure.
Lauren, you always have an opinion, so come on now. Let's do this.
I think that TNC needs to be more player-friendly to new players who come to the game.
Okay.
I think we need to give them incentive to actually come back and continue playing.
Hey, and you know what? In rebuttal to that, and they did this for a very long time. Everybody has fucking crazy amount of vouchers, and they flooded the game with that shit for a long time when all the new people started coming. I can't say that for them. In the aspect of trying to like be more.
Yeah,
fair.
but in order to find a game fun, you want to be invested in it. You want to feel like you're contributing something to the game. And a lot of the time, TNC, there's so many different cliques that I think people get left out and they feel left out. And that detracts them from coming back.
But, I mean, I can see your point, you know, a little bit, and in the whole click thing, but that's just human nature, in my opinion, because I think even the new people have their own little cliques that they kind of hang out in. So, but
none of them. I like you when you said that, because I'm one of them people that feel like that. All them clicks. It's just me. I don't have any, like, I don't talk to anybody out of character outside of the game unless it's some shit like this, you know?
Right.
Like,
I feel like the biggest problem in TNC is that it's not fair. And a lot of times when people play text games, the games are fair. You know, like Miriani or Star Conquest. You know, usually the guides and the hosts don't have characters, so they can't play favorites amongst their friends or their own characters and stuff like that. But TNC is not like that. I mean, it's evident even with this new peer system. Like, people don't want to be told that these people are royalty because, you know, they're friends with the right people. That's ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous to me.
But then at the same time, I don't get me wrong, because I know exactly what you're talking about. But as far as to that, Ian took over. That happened. I was the whole Zahir. When we took that over, them was my troops, the Red Army that ended up was supposed to be, I guess, because Ian was gonna crush everything anyway. So Kashif got it in his head that he just gonna be the front line. Since he gonna win anyway, he just gonna be the front line. Cause I think Zahir joined first, and that's what we took. And he we ended up getting beat though. But he took over everything anyway. Like all that shit really happened in game. And that's why he's the royalty, but we got this new political system stuff.
Now,
as far as to that go, you can really make a difference with that.
I think I like the new peer system. The fact that anyone can become a peer as long as they do things. But that's the thing. Like, I agree with Lauren and the fact that new players need to have something to invest in, which we have, like the rentable the rentable stores now and shit like that, and they've been around for years now. But
no, you can't rent the stores. You have to go through the PM, and the PMs are crappy. They don't even answer people's e-posts.
You can't rent stores in Avalopo anymore?
They just tell
No,
me
you have to get one of the PMs to rent it out for you.
Okay, so I didn't know that. So I will agree with the fact that we need to give new players something so they can get invested into the game and feel like they have some ownership in the player world of the game. And I agree with that, definitely.
Stop. Tell Ian to give up money. Tell him to release it. Everything. Release all of that shit. Sell it all. You really want to give it
You can open it, please.
sovereign want to say give up all the stocks and let the players really take control. There's a lot of businesses and add more businesses on all of the big
Oh, someone's breaking up.
It's plane flying over my house.
Oh, okay.
It says, like I
But yeah, I think new players should be able to take some ownership. But I also feel like there needs to be a very strict set of guidelines that dictates whether a player can take ownership of something. And I think it needs to be time-based, not necessarily how long they've had the character created, but how much time they've actually invested into the game. Because if not happy.
Yeah.
But no, I don't feel. I feel like a lot of these players just come in here and they want instant gratification. They want the house, they want the car, they want the boat, they want it right now. They don't care how much time they put into the game. They don't care about anything but themselves. And then when they don't get their way, they just log off and never log back on. And that Jason Henderson kid is a perfect example. Okay, he got on, he talked a bunch of trash to everyone. I mean, spit on people and shit like that. Just acted like a complete fucking retard. And then when he got fucking
Don't say retard.
when he acted like a complete idiot, and then he got the shit kicked out of him because he was spitting on people. He got all butthurt, and now he doesn't. I haven't seen him log on. So when you act like that, you have to accept the ramifications, no matter what. So I think that new players need to understand that yes, you have to work a little bit in this game, even though it is a game. I understand that you have to work a little bit to get the things that you want, and that's point blank. You have to put in work. That's it.
Yeah. They do. And I'd say this, and then when you get it all, it's not even
Not happy.
that shit. Yeah, it is crazy. But I got all of that times 10, and it's not even about the car. You sitting there, you want all of this. What are you doing for the like? Who are you to have these things? Because when you do get enough money to get a car or buy a voucher or whatever, it's gonna be the most extravagant shit because there's no limitations to that. But what have you done to be in a modern day world saying you drive some shit like that?
Right.
You just I got all of it. I got the house, I did it all, but I grinded my ass off. When I made this character, I wasn't here to role play, I was here to grind. And that's what I did for a long time, and I didn't talk to nobody at all. but I got all of it. No, it's not about that.
Right.
No, but just, you just gotta figure out what you want to do. And everybody, well, not interest everybody else, but everybody has to somehow be connected to it.
Not happy. They're not happy with you right now, Lauren. All right.
Oh, he wants to color with the markers,
Ah.
but he's too little.
That'll happen.
Oh, so you said the torture on the kids while we doing
They
this?
they don't let me have markers either, so I understand his pain. Okay, Kimmy, did you
Look at his crayon.
Kimmy, Kimmy, did you think of anything that you wanted to talk about?
No, I just pretty much just kind of agree, I guess you could say.
Okay.
So- I have no idea what I was saying anymore.
You agree?
Yeah, just about the whole like.
Mama, bring my heart up.
Let's go hang your sister's heart up.
I just drawing a rainbow heart. All the colors of it.
I know this video is probably crazy, stupid ass long. You should just give them like snippets of it.
It's like 36 minutes.
Yeah, maybe we should edit
No.
the interesting parts.
It's all good. They're playing TNC. They have nothing better to do, so they can just put it in the background and listen to us while they fucking play. Okay, but we'll go ahead and cut it, and because the kids are not happy. They are not happy. So I will see you guys in the game, and I thank everyone for coming on, and we'll talk to you guys later.